This is Liz Davis. I am a nutritionist and I specialise in gut health for busy women, and I help people fix their gut health problems with state of the art testing and supplements and dietary upgrades, etc., to really get things working really well once we've kind of discovered what the root cause is in there for all these problems, etc. So, today I was going to do a quick discussion about inflammation, mainly because inflammation is such a big driver for a lot of kind of undesirable conditions in the body, and it can, you know, be an underlying problem for a lot of us a lot of the time. So what I'll do is I'll do a quick rundown about inflammation, what it is, when we want it, when we definitely don't want it, and 5 really easy switches you can make today to help to eliminate some of that inflammation for you and start to kind of alleviate some symptoms, hopefully. So basically, with inflammation, so it's part of our inherent immune response. We do need inflammation, but we need it in a controlled way. So, for example, if you, I don't know, cut your finger or bang yourself, bang your leg or something, then you will get inflammation coming to the site, and it will flood it with blood cells and protect the area and make sure it heals properly. Normally, this inflammation will pass quite rapidly in a few days, couple of days, 3 or 4 days, something like that. That should be the end of it. So you can expect to see this kind of thing if you've got a sore throat or some kind of a skin wound or something, or even sinusitis and things like that. It will inflammation will happen and then it will pass quite rapidly usually. However, there is a problem. Sometimes it doesn't pass rapidly, and sometimes you can end up in this state of chronic inflammation, which is entirely not what we want. And it's thought that this chronic inflammation is a driver of a lot of disease states. So you would see chronic inflammation in conditions, for example, like asthma, and it's now known to be is considered to be a problem or a driver a lot of the time, or certainly a component in conditions like IBS, so gut problems, and then any of the problems associated with it. So if you're experiencing things like digestive discomfort, fatigue, joint pain particularly, it's associated with conditions such as depression, anxiety, colitis and Crohn's. Those are all examples of chronic inflammation states. So that is entirely not what we want, because sometimes you can have inflammation in the body and you don't know it's there. It can be kind of buried quite deep in various organs, etc. And you wouldn't necessarily know. You may get signs like rashes or fatigue, etc. So it's always worth looking into, if you are getting symptoms like that, looking into the possibility that there could be inflammation there driving things for you. Okay, so it's also, surprise, surprise, because there is a big gut link there, that scientists are now looking into the fact it could be, there's a lot down to your kind of state of your microbiome. So not enough good bacteria, too many kind of pathogenic bacterias or fungus growing out of control in there. This is also thought to be, a big driver of inflammation. So what happens then? So what causes it? So there is the dysbiosis, so there's the gut bacteria issue. You may have allergies or food sensitivities which could be driving it, unbeknownst to you. Stress is a big driver for inflammation, so chronic ongoing stress. The body doesn't like that. Toxins from the environment can be a driver, and then of course there's the diet and lifestyle things as well. I'll come on to more of that in a second. So too many foods that aren't doing you the power of good, and also constant dehydration, maybe too much caffeine, etc., can drive it as well. So here are 5 things then, 5 quick things, 5 quick upgrades you can make to try and drive that inflammation down if you think it is a problem for you. So the first thing I would do is definitely reduce or eliminate any added sugar, because sugar is known to be highly inflammatory. You probably want to look at your fat intake as well. So it's not so much the amount of fat, it's the type of fat. So things like vegetable oils and sunflower oils are very high in a fat called omega-6. And omega-6, if we have too much of it, it can cause our body to get into kind of more of an inflammatory state. So we need omega-6, but omega-6 unfortunately is in everything, it's everywhere. So we need to watch our fat intake and make sure we're getting fats from other sources as well, so different kinds of fat. So for example, if you switch out your vegetable oil for coconut oil, for example, for cooking in, or olive oils, they will give different kinds of fats which aren't inflammatory as the omega-6. Okay, so there's also red wine. See, I said it wasn't all bad, didn't I? Red wine is highly anti-inflammatory. It contains highly anti-inflammatory compounds such as quercetin, really anti-inflammatory, highly antiviral, etc. as well. It's a really good thing to get on board. Red wine has also got resveratrol in it, which has got lots of health benefits, and not least of which is it is also very anti-inflammatory as well. So of course I wouldn't start drinking. If you're not already a drinker, don't start drinking, because obviously alcohol has its drawbacks as well. But if you are a drinker, then switching out your normal drink for a glass of red wine here and there is going to hopefully give you a few more health benefits there. So supplement wise, if you're not regularly eating 3 or 4 portions of oily fish a week, so oily fish I mean salmon, mackerel, sardines, etc., then you do need to supplement. And supplement, so omega-3 is highly anti-inflammatory, where you've got your omega-6, which is inflammatory, your omega-3 is anti-inflammatory, so you need to get plenty of omega-3s in your diet to balance out that level nicely. A really great supplement for driving down inflammation is turmeric. It's highly anti-inflammatory. It's very, very useful, and people use it, they'll see results very, very quickly. So if you don't think you're suffering much with inflammation, then it's sufficient just to use a bit of turmeric now and again in your cooking, so curries and turmeric milk, etc. Very, very beneficial. Otherwise, if you are suffering, then certainly to supplement with turmeric is going to be kind of, I would think, highly beneficial for you. Okay, so there's a quick rundown of inflammation then, what it is, when we want it, when we don't want it, and certain conditions it can be kind of underlying in, and a few tips there for you to start to nail things. So if you would like to speak to me though about any aspect of your gut health, then do use the link below to book into my diary, and I can have a chat with you and find out what you've got going on. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye.